So one of the staples that we're going to emphasize this year is our horn set. We want to make sure out of horns we're creating threats for our all five positions, but mainly our kind of swing guys that might be playing the 4 or 5 for us, but in college they'll probably play the 2 or the 3. So giving them options to face the basket and attack off that as well. So in horns, you have a setup where 2 guys are at the elbow, and you have 2 guys in the short corner, 3. So it makes a horns or a longhorn type formation at the top of the key. Out of horns, there's several different options depending on, who's running it, what team is, what sets they like. It's totally ambiguous of all types of different motions and things of that nature. So our particular horns play is going to be these particular options. But again, off of our motion, if you ever are running into another team or another coach that is running horns, there's not a universal way to run horns. This is just the way we decided that we're going to run it. So initially we drive to the play side. The guy in the short corner now accepts the screen from the elbow play side player. Once that screen is set, the elbow player now reverse pivots, opens up for the drop step and the seal on the switch if it happens, and we are looking to feed that low post area. If that low post isn't there, we immediately hit the guy getting the screen from the short corner in that lift action, and he's open now for a 3-point shot. Also, if that guard likes to attack off of that, he can, or get into a 2-man game with the low post player as well. Notice off of this action, the guard coming from the short corner 3 now receives a screen after he comes off of the initial screen, the 3-point line, from the backside high post player, and that high post player now slips off of that right into the slot for the 3-point shot. Once that slot player gets that reversal, we have now the one-in portion of this. And so the low post player the short corner 3 player comes off of that screen, comes off of that second screen from the backside elbow player, and then the big seals. Now, the big point and emphasis, and we'll start the film right here. The big point and emphasis on this is if the initial screen happens with the short corner guard and the elbow defender, and you get a small on the big action going on, we want the big that's now has the small on them to be able to seal and work the triangle of the midline and block on the 4-out 1-in situation. So if we identify a switch, we want to be able to enter the ball from all 4 spots into that low post player and allow him, as we start the film back, allow him to dominate down low. Okay, if not, we get to the next option where that guard comes off of that screen at the top of the key and now finds the shooter in the short corner for the 3. Notice we still have all the other actions going. We still on the baseline with the low post now. We get it from the short corner 3 guy. He comes off of that screen. And we still open up on the flare from the opposite elbow guy. And now we kick it to the corner for the 3. Unfortunately, we missed that shot. We'll get the rebound there. Next, off of this action, we get right into horns again. We go off of it. It's not there. We don't have anything. Our default play is 4. Our default motion is 4. So you'll see that short corner offensive player not see any options open. He doesn't like the shot. So what he does in this situation is just dribbles the ball back up to the slot, and we get right back into our motion offense. See the screen here, come off of that screen downhill. We kick out to the corner. The shot isn't there. We don't like it. He dribbles immediately right back up to the slot. And notice that the low post offensive player now runs over to the play side block. We always want to have our offensive player that's on the block. We want to have the block on the play side occupied and the block on the weak side that's open.